Good evening, everyone. I'm Reverend Robin Nashuk. It is Wednesday, and it is in the middle of a delightful December. I hope it is for you if you're watching. Thank you for joining us for our spin into the stillness. It's a Wednesday meditative practice, not very long, not a lot of time required. Don't have to sign up. You can just show up. It's a drop-in experience, but it's a practice. It's a time when we can gather as an online community and get some guidance from our deepest self, and then be still with our deep self, hear our deep self, and then come back to this plane, this world, and see how we might implement that information as we go through our days and weeks ahead. And here you are, ready to participate and to receive as well as to share. So we are guided by a set of oracle cards called the Astro Codes, or our Star Codes Astro Oracle cards. And these are really fun cards we've been using for about 6 months now. Great messages and great suggestions and tasks and things to keep in mind as we reflect on the card throughout the week. And as we try to, again, implement the suggestions of the actions for those cards into our daily life, which is really what this is all about. I feel like we come to this space to do two things. One, to learn to be still. And of course, if you're meditating, you might start doing this by finding your space in a quiet room, or doing it where you know you won't be disturbed. But ultimately, what we want to do is learn to be still wherever we are. So even though we are sitting in our homes, perhaps, or maybe in our offices, or someplace else, because we're online, because we're each in our own spaces, there's going to be ambient noise and distractions around us. And so we might have even carved out that very quiet space, but outside will be sirens or people talking or dogs barking, as you know if you've been to here and heard my dogs bark many, many times. So yes, we want to be still. We want to create a space of relaxation and stillness for ourselves. But ultimately, we're looking to really discipline ourselves to be still wherever we are so that we can call on this stillness as a core way of being when we need to in the world. When other things are getting chaotic, we know how to be still. In addition to that, we're getting information. So we're going to hear information about the card that we draw. We're going to look at the artwork on the card. We're going to have responses to that. They're going to align with us in some way in response to an intention that we set, which we'll do in a minute. So we want to also take this information, and when we come out of meditation, when we wake up tomorrow, when we go to bed this evening, when we move through our week, we want to be able to apply that information. We want to be able to have those moments where we stop and reflect and then make choices that allow us to move forward, that gives us that forward momentum to create the lives that we want to create. So we're learning to be still in any circumstance. And we're also learning to take the information that we learn and then make conscious choices with that. So, in order for us to do that, we need to set an intention. And it doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be some sort of statement or question, some sort of way of writing down or focusing on something that we want to be reflecting on, guidance that we may be seeking, questions that we may have about experiences in our life that we are seeking those deeper answers for. Now, it's not like we're asking an outside source. It's not like we're taking advice about something in our lives and that outside source has no idea about our lives. We are literally asking our deep self the truth, the guidance, the answers. These are usually things that we already know, but this world, the way that we live, our material needs oftentimes come between us and the truth with a capital T, that truth that only we truly know about ourselves for ourselves. So we're asking our deep self, and we are creating that space where we don't have all of those other aspects of our life trying to get our attention to distract us from the truth that we need to know in order to move on. So it's not that complicated, but just know that when we pose these intentions, when we ask these questions, we're not necessarily asking an outer energy to answer us or to respond. What we are doing is asking and stating something that we can allow our inner self to respond to as truth. So let's do it. Let's set that intention, ask that question, make that statement. It can be as simple or as complex as you'd like. I think making it simple is probably the easiest. So one word that prompts you, that prompts your response to the card. So you write down something, a question on the card that you're seeking an answer for, or you state guidance that you want, and then see how the card comes up and responds to this. And then you take that information when we go deep and you try to put it all together with the help of that deep self that lives within. So, shall we make that statement to set that intention? Excellent. So I've stated my intention. And now, one of the reasons that I invite you to write this down on a little slip of paper is because if we were live, I would invite you to write down your intention or state your question and then hold that question in the palm of your hand as we meditate. And then as we would leave the meditation, I would invite you to bring that intention up to me, and then we would throw it into the flames, into a bowl of flames, and allow that intention to dissipate into the universe, and then allow the universe the space to return the response, to give us the guidance, to lead us in the direction that we are looking. Without it, we're not clutching to it and holding on to it throughout the week. We have given it the energy, and then we set it free to become what it must become for us. And so if I write the words everyone's intentions on one of these slips of paper, then I can be a proxy. This paper can be a proxy for everyone's intentions, as if you were walking up at the end of the meditation and throwing your own intention into the bowl. So I'm going to do that. Everyone's intentions. And you will see it right here. Now I will have this in front of me to gather energy as I lead us into meditation, but you can hold yours in the palm of your hand, or if you don't have anything to write with or write down on, you can just imaginarily write your intention on your hand. Just some way to give you a real life material corporal focus to the information that you seek. And so when we make that statement, when we affirm it, when we write it down, when we state it in our minds, then it is the focus and the prompt that we need to get more information and to receive more information. So we are just about ready to get started. Let us begin by, if you're not already relaxed in that wonderful space where you feel both energized as well as relaxed, where you can stay aware of the information that you are experiencing and exchanging with your deep self, with an alertness, with a level of awakeness that you can consciously participate in this experience. Now, it's the end of the day, and I fall asleep quite often during my midday meditations. And that, of course, is perfectly fine. You are still absorbing, you are still receiving that information because you've intended it. Chances are you've not gone totally out if you do fall asleep, instead have remained in a kind of half space where you do have this exchange. You just might not consciously remember it as well as you might if you remain alert. So just do it for you. This is your experience. However it works best for you is the way to do it. But we want to make ourselves comfortable in this space, feel safe, feel relaxed, and just begin to kind of melt into this space to feel even more and more safe. And of course, we do that with our breathing. Now we're going to inhale through our nose, and you want to take that breath in nice and deeply. So inhale. And when you fill your body with lungs, you just want to make sure you're imagining that oxygen hitting every corner of your body, your fingertips and your toes and your knees and your head. And then you pause for a moment, and then you exhale slowly. Now, here's the important part. When you exhale, take that moment when the breath leaves you to pause. It's a blank moment. It's a moment where nothing is happening. There's no inhaling, there's no exhaling, there's just nothingness. That's a beautiful gap in space before we begin the process again. Inhale and hold and exhale. And hold. Feel that gap. Inhale one more time. And hold. And exhale. And we're going to keep our eyes open because I got to read about the card. I got to shuffle the cards, don't I? So let's do that now while I come back. Almost forgot a big part of the process. Set the intention. Now we're going to draw the card. We're going to shuffle the cards. I've got my card up from earlier today. We're going to shuffle these cards and then we'll draw. You're relaxed now, right? Because you breathed. So let's do that. We're going to shuffle them. Then we'll get even more relaxed. I almost let us go into meditation without a card. You almost were meditating on my card from earlier today. And so when I draw these cards, I draw the top card. The top card means that I'm not reaching into the deck, choosing my own intuitive card, but I'm choosing the top one. You can see I'm drawing it. You can see I'm not drawing more than one. I am drawing the card that is the single card that is answering all of our insight requests, all of our information requests, all of our questions. That card is for the day. It's a new one. Interesting. The card for tonight is 12th house. The theme, the word, the response is introspection. How is that word, introspection? The answer, the information that you seek. Now I'm going to switch over to me and this card. There you see it. So we see the 12th house. We see the chakras right there, all the way there. So take a look at the card and the word and the artwork. You see the chakra system. You see all those beautiful concentric circles in there. You see that word introspection. That is an answer. That is insight. That is guidance. And that's guidance that is in response to what you requested on that little slip of paper. So I'll read about the card. You can get more relaxed, and then we'll meditate. That's card number 50. Here we go. 12th house, introspection. What are we doing tonight? If your chart were a village map, the 12th house would be a quiet place. The sun is still in the 12th house just after sunrise, a time for prayer and meditation, for dreaming our deepest dreams. The 12th house is your inner child's world, containing both the fairyland into which you might escape and the monsters that live under your bed. Our action for this evening is to introspect. This situation is complex. It's the situation that you wrote down about. So learn what's going on behind the scenes before you act. Look for private motives, hidden enemies, and surprise angels. Take time alone to develop an idea or to listen within. We're doing that right now. The 12th house speaks of both who you are when no one's looking and the fact that your fate is inextricably linked to every other sentient being. Work with this metaphor. We are all cells in the body of the divine. It's essential that you take care of yourself, your individual cell, and honor who you are. But you must also acknowledge that you work within an organism, i.e., your family, your culture, your world, this earth, which operates within the body of all creation. If you just take care of yourself and disregard the rest, you become a cancer that brings an illness to a great body. If you deny your individuality, you can't do what you were born to do. Both realities are clear and true. You do exist independently, and you are part of the collective. It's just a perspective shift. It's impractical to get lost in oneness, whether in spiritual bliss or over-identification with your group, and neglect your individual health. But it can be spiritually painful to feel stuck in the isolated, single-cell mindset. Spiritual practice can help you find a healthy midpoint between a disconnected, lonely state and a state of connection to one another, to a cause, or to the divine. Grounding helps you return to your personal path. Our challenge: it can be hard to find a healthy place between feeling subsumed by a group and dwelling in stunted isolation. The 12th house asks you to face your fears. The gift of this card: in quiet moments of prayer, meditation, and creative bliss, feel that deep connection to the source and know you are not alone. So this card is truly a special one for whether you're introverted or extroverted or somewhere in between. We can look at this card as our way of moving between those two extremely necessary ways and two very crucial perspectives. We are part of a larger organism. We are all cells within the divine, that make up the divine. We are all cells that make up our family, our group, our workplace, our world around us. And yet, we're all individuals within that greater organism, which means we each have been called to a unique task. We all have a part to play. So we must be in touch with our individuality so we can be contributing to that organism in the way that we uniquely contribute, that makes the whole oneness work. So we're unique. We are also unified. And I think that's a beautiful thought. It's a little trippy, it's a little heady, but if you don't think of it as binary, if you think of it as actually something that is an integrated experience, we're unique and we're unified with other beings, then you can move back and forth and make sure that you're nourished enough to be strong and feel like the individual, beautiful being that you are, and know that that beautiful beingness of you is also part of a greater organism. And that is how you are participating in that organism's evolution. Let's meditate on it. We're going to breathe again, going to get in touch with that breath. It can never be too often, by the way. I didn't do it prematurely. You know, you can still focus on that breath, and now you know how to do it. Let's inhale fully and exhale and pause. Inhale again. Hold. Exhale again and pause. Inhale one more time and hold. And exhale as you allow your eyes to flutter close this time. Yes, we are here. We are ready. We are allowing that breath. We are allowing our breath to become a comfortable pace with intention, with strength, and yet natural to us. We're not breathing together. This breath is natural to our selves and individual self. I invite you to listen to the tones as they are struck on the bell. Each tone, allow the tone now to align with each breath and have both the tone and your breath to bring you in alignment with the essence that is beyond your physical body. Each tone draws you in to the deepest parts of yourself. As we get drawn into our deepest self, the limitations and the boundaries of our physical body are temporarily dissolved. Our essence temporarily is freed from the limitations of our body, which means we are feeling no pain anywhere. Without pain, comfort and safety of being just our essence. We are feeling an exhilaration. It's a sense of freedom and expansion that we don't often experience in our daily life. It's this feeling of expansion that allows us to hear our deep self, to know the truth about what is best for us, because we are our own truth. This freedom that we experience is what brings you back to this space if you come back regularly. You anticipate this beautiful, safe experience where you can release you into you. Imagine this essence flying and floating on all of the tones. Maybe you can see that essence with the tones. Maybe you can feel the alignment of floating with each tone. Maybe you can hear yourself align, maybe a click with that tone that allows you to dance with it, to feel it. With this alignment comes a perfect feeling of safety and relaxation. Safe and relaxed. And now here we are. Our essence has risen from our physical body, freed from its corporeal limitations. And yet we still seek the sound or the information from that voice. This is our introspection. As the essence, let us remember that the voice within is the one that is always there. Let us find that voice individually. Each tone rings, aligns, and allows you to hear that voice from deep within more and more clearly. If you receive information through sound, allow the tone to connect you with how you will hear that voice. Does it sound like your voice? This voice from deep within? If you see information to learn it or know it, can you see your deep self where you are right now? Does your deep self look like you imagined it to look? Does your deep self appear to you in a way that you recognize? Knowing that whatever you are envisioning, hearing, tasting, feeling, you are the one feeling it, seeing it, touching it. It is your imagination that brings you directly in communication with your deepest self. You are, in essence, your deep self is you. Can communicate with you in a conversation, or can simply provide information through you as you, however you imagine this. Because now for the next few moments, have that conversation with your deep self about the intention that you set. This is your introspection. Do not be afraid. We are safe here together. Listen for the answers, the insight. Know it as your truth. We've had the conversation. We've had the exchange with the truth that comes from our deepest self. We are exhilarated with the opportunity to connect in this way. We're excited about looking for that which our truth has told us we will find. We are excited about manifesting what that which is truth for us has told us would come to pass. We are feeling challenged to overcome and achieve and feel that we've moved and advanced toward our enlightenment, knowing that that enlightenment simply requires us to know it exists. But this journey is one that we've chosen for now, and the truth that is our deep voice is showing us how to make this next part of our journey. We are here in this space receiving this information, this individual information, this unique individual we seek as a unified organism of this meditative gathering. And so let us open our awareness of our place in this meditative gathering. You may not know anybody that is here. You may have no idea who's coming by listening to this later, or who's listening again when you choose to listen again. All that I ask you is to open yourself to the idea that you, as this unique, magical cell, is part of something greater. So experience the soul that is next to you and the soul that is next to them. You don't have to take in all that are here, just that beautiful awareness that we're all here together, no matter how great or small the group may be. And as we cherish knowing that we are not alone, just as the information about the card told us, we feel strong and empowered to return to our physical self. We know we have our individual journeys. We know we have our collective journeys. Tonight we've tapped into what makes us unique and what unifies us. So let us hear each tone and imagine it as aligned with our breath. And as we rediscover that alignment with our breath, we also rediscover our physical bodies. We feel the animation of our bodies start moving through, returning to our feet and our hands and our heads, moving up and in from the top down, from the bottom up, We feel the power and the re-energizing of our physical self while we return to our presence in our physical self. As much as we can, hold any pains, anxieties, fears at bay. We return with a clean slate. We can hand choose what we choose to absorb back in of our fears, of our pains, despairs, but we can also remember to add more joy on this return, more laughter, more love. This is our choice as we re-enter our bodies with our breath. And let us re-enter our bodies fully by taking 3 quick breaths. Imagine ourselves being re-engaged, re-energized. Inhale and exhale quickly. Inhale again and exhale quickly. And one more deep breath. Inhale and exhale quickly. And there we are. We have returned. Energized. Can you feel the energy buzzing through you from that introspection? This is a beautiful one. It's one that we can do at any time to get more information, to know that that deep voice that is speaking to us is speaking the truth. And so it's getting late. Without further ado, let us send our intentions out into the universe, out into the wind. My candle has burned out. Relighting. All right, here is mine going first. Going, gone. Lighting. Relight my fire. There it goes. As it burns. Why can't you see that? I do this every time. Oh, I've cut off my poor little burning, but that's okay. It's burning. Trust me when I tell you it is. So we've got our everyone's intentions, guys. This is the most important one right here. This is all of yours and mine together, going out into the universe. Thank you for sharing, sending me that energy. Away, away, away. I wish you could see it. Somehow I didn't lock my screen, but it's there. It is there and burning, burning brightly. You can tell by the way I'm, nervous watching it to see that it's there. So, look at it go. It's still going. Out into the universe. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me and with our community tonight. I'm so grateful that you continue to choose to make this a regular practice, whether it's once a week, once a month, once a year. You're here. It's a practice. And it's up to you to practice whenever it works best for you. So just know that this community is energized by your presence, continues to be energized as the recordings continue with their life beyond this night. And it's really beautiful, and I'm very grateful. So let's see who's here. My Zoomers on Wednesday are here, Sue and Kathleen. Mwah. Let's check out your little comments. There we go. Thank you once again. As usual, let's see who is in the other spaces, YouTubes and such. Look who's here. Smiley, hello. AJ, hey, how are you, girl? Monica, hello. Mwah. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing. These are 3 people here that I'm saying hello to that I have known for a long time and love. And so let's see if I can catch anyone else on the Facebooks, because I do always tend to forget anyone else on the Facebooks. But just know that if you're here, even if you're catching it later, even if you're catching the recording, even if I didn't acknowledge you, say hello. So glad you are here. Send me your thoughts. Let me know how you have experienced this meditation, if it's working for you, if you're getting the answers to the insight you seek. I want to know. I'm an inquiring mind, and I think our little community would also be pleased to know that it's making you be the person that you are intending. So, introspection. That's the name of the game this week. Thank you for being here. We're moving through this month, we're moving through this year quickly. Whew. Hold tight. Enjoy every moment. Don't wish the year to end. More on that later. Just enjoy each moment of every day. Do what you can to be present, to make those choices, and to know that we can choose to respond to anything that we are in, however we want. And that is very empowering. I love you. Have a beautiful night and a good one, a good week. Blessings.